Hi everyone. Today we're going to discuss about vocabulary 1 and we're going to talk about how should we retain new words and how should we develop our vocabulary so that we don't just forget our words whenever we come across them, but we retain these words forever, right? So now top 3 reasons why every individual should improve his or her vocabulary. Definitely the first one is that vocabulary will improve your communication. A good vocabulary often makes your communication simple and it makes you choose your words with greater precision, which means you know now where to use which word and how should you make use of good words. Next is vocabulary opens your mind. When I say vocabulary opens your mind, when you lack words, you shut down new insights and lines of reasoning. Obviously, if I'm not reading enough, if I'm not getting to know good words, then I'm somewhere shutting down new insights and things that would help me get new thoughts. But as I learn new words, I open my world and I go beyond the limits of my world. So the limits of your language mean the limits of your world. The last thing is that vocabulary gets you results, right? Now, when I talk about vocabulary getting us results, obviously professional success depends entirely on the way you think and communicate. Be it your entrance exams, your GDPI, your job interview, maybe after that once you get into the corporate field, the way you talk with your superiors, the way you talk with the clients, right? That's all professional. Everything depends on your thinking and communication skills. Now, the big question here is how should we retain the memory or how should we improve our memory, right? So, we improve our memory with respect to the functions of the word. Now, you may be wondering what are the functions of a word? So, the first function is to write, second function is to speak, and the next function is to think. So, to write, to speak, and to think. To speak is we master the correct pronunciation. Learning the correct pronunciation is also very important. To write is to learn the correct spelling. And when I say to think is to master the literal and the figurative meanings. So speak is nothing but pronunciation, write is the spelling, and think is the meaning, which is literal and figurative, right? Now we look at this word. Now I want you all to try and pronounce this word without Googling it. I know many of you all would think of it as bourgeois or bourgeois, right? But this is not bourgeois or bourgeois. This word is a French word. But now many French words have been incorporated into our English language. This word is pronounced as bourgeois. Bourgeois. So you use your online dictionaries which give you the pronunciation indicated by the audio button. You use this facility whenever available. Use the audio button by pressing it again and again, and that's how you get your pronunciation. BRGO. This is how we learn the spelling. So it has an is, it has a geo, it has an hour. These are syllables with a B. Or you remember it as bor, geo is. It's better you remember it as BRGO, which is bourgeois. Now to remember the meaning, I think of it with a context. So here the context says modern bourgeois society said Nietzsche was decadent and enfeebled. So if I've used it as modern bourgeois society, it means relating to or characteristic of the social middle class. When I talk of it as a noun, it means a middle class person. Its plural is bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie is used for more than one. So again, if I say modern bourgeois society, I would mean modern middle class society. So let me remember the word with the context. Now we move to the questions that test you on vocabulary. The first set of questions are known as odd word out. Now in these questions, you need to find out which is that one word which does not belong to the which does not fall into the classification that the rest fall into. So which is that one word which is odd man out or odd one out? So the first question gives me 5 words: couple, sever, rend, lacerate, and slash. Now I'm sure you must have not come across all the words given here, but there are few words which we are familiar with. Say for example, couple. Couple means together, right? If I come to other words, I also know slash. We use that prices have been slashed by 20% straight. So what does a slash mean? Slash means to break it down. So couple is to bring together, slash is to break it down. They are opposites. So let me see what is the answer. The answer is couple. Because sever, rend, lacerate, and slash, all of these mean to cut or to tear apart. Next I have is quell, suppress, allay, pacify, and ruffle. Now quell, allay, suppress, and pacify mean the same, which is to subdue or to calm someone down. But ruffle, on the other hand, means to cause trouble. Seize, launch, initiate, commence, and open. When I say seize, launch, initiate, commence, and open, I clearly know that seize means to stop, and launch, initiate, commence, and open mean to start something new. So hence my odd one out is seize. Brink, threshold, verge, brim, hub. Brink, threshold, verge, and brim mean the edge of something, and hub implies a central meeting point. The fifth one, the odd one out, is oblique. The third one, oblique means abusive language. There is eulogy, panegyric. All of these imply, words of praise. Taciturn, reserved, glamorous, silent, and tranquil. Now the odd word out here is clamorous, because all the others mean silent or calm. Sporadic, frequent, intermittent, scarce, and discontinuous. The answer to this is scarce, because scarce means less in number. Sporadic, frequent, intermittent, and discontinuous, they happen in intervals, and scarce is not intervals. Now let us go ahead and solve a set of new questions. These questions are known as analogy. Now, in analogy is basically a set of two words which are not related. But when they are put together, suppose in this one, they somehow become related. So limpid to murky. Limpid means clear and murky means foggy. So limpid and murky are thus related in the sense that they both are antonyms. Now I need to find similar relationship in my answer options. So if I need to look at antonyms in my answer options, my answer becomes option number 3, bright to gloomy. So something that is bright will not be gloomy. This is what the other options mean. Next we have is the ninth one, ease to elevate. To ease is to elevate. So both of these are synonyms. So I need a pair of synonyms in my answer options too. So if ease is to elevate, question is to interrogate. So my answer option becomes option number 5. Secret to clandestine. Secret and clandestine both mean the same, which is to be secretive. So since both are synonyms, my answer option also has to be a synonym. So my answer here is covert to stealthy. Covert and stealthy both mean secretive. 11th one, the relationship is drama and audience. So my short statement that I will construct is an audience goes to watch a drama. Now in a similar manner, my answer is option number 2. Audience goes to watch a drama, spectators go to watch a game. 12th, building to story. The relationship between building and story is a building is made up of multiple stories. So if building is made up of multiple stories, a book is made up of multiple chapters. Now from the 13th onwards, if you see the directions in your book, it says you need to choose the one that has the least similar relationship to the key pair. And when I say least similar relationship, it means if my question pair is and say antonym, my answer option has to be a synonym and vice versa. Now this question, germane to pertinent. Germane means apt and pertinent means appropriate. So both are synonyms, apt to appropriate. Now if both are synonyms, my answer options have to be antonyms. And there's only one option that I can see is a pair of antonym, which is excited to serene. So my answer is excited to serene. Sail to ship. Let me figure out the relationship. The relationship between sail to ship is a ship sails. So sail helps in the movement of the ship. When I say sail helps in the movement of the ship, what is that which does not help in the movement of the other? When I think of it, it is the second one, radar. Radar does not help in the movement of the satellite. In fact, what radar does is radar helps to track the satellite. Cosmic to universe. When I think of cosmic, all I can get is universe. So cosmic is an adjective that I use for universe. So what is not an adjective for something? We call Earth a terrestrial planet. We call moon, whenever we have lunar eclipse. Connubial though is not for youth. Connubial is the state of being married. So hence connubial does not signify youth. Canine. Dogs belong to the canine family. So what does not belong to a particular family? It's aquiline to parrot. Aquiline is not for parrots. Aquiline stands for eagles. Xenophobia to foreigners. Xenophobia is the fear of foreigners. So what is not a fear of something? So claustrophobia to height. Claustrophobia is fear of enclosed spaces. And fear of height is known as aerophobia. Hence incorrect. Now we move on to FIB type of questions. Football evokes a dashed response in India compared to cricket that almost dashed the nation. Now I have almost, which means I need a greater degree of adjective in the second blank. So the only option that makes sense here is lukewarm to electrifies. Lukewarm means moderate response in comparison to cricket, which almost shakes the nation, which is electrifies. Social studies, science, matters of health and safety, the very atmosphere of the classroom. These areas are few of the dash for the dash of proper emotional reaction. When I say these areas, which means I need to continue with areas only. So in that I have only two options that I can consider. One is fertile areas, second is important areas, which is fourth, second and fourth. Now I can't take basis of proper emotional reactions. Emotional reactions are inculcated and not based. Hence my answer is fourth. These areas are few of the important areas for the formation of proper emotional reactions. Now we go to the 20th one. When children become more experienced with words as visual symbols, they find that they can gain meaning without making dash sounds. So this means that when children become experienced with words and that words indicate symbols, so they think that they can make meaning without making audible sounds. Audible means capability of being heard. Learning is more efficient when it is dash. It is less efficient when it is dash. So learning is more efficient when it is fun. Less efficient when it is a boring work, which is drudgery. Rest, there is no context for me to infer as total, slow or deferred, which means very slow or postponed. Hence 21 is fourth. This I fear is a repetition, so we will have to skip this again. Moving on to 23rd, 22nd. To a greater or lesser degree, all the civilized countries of the world are made up of a small class of rulers dash and of a large class of subjects dash. Now obviously I'm talking about rulers. So rulers are corrupted by too much power. And when I talk about subjects, subjects are corrupted by too much of obedience. Hence option number 3 is my answer. Simple arithmetic tells us there is more dash than dash. Now we're talking about arithmetic. Many people feel that it should be probability, improbability. But then arithmetic में क्या होता है? We just copy what we've been doing for so long and not innovate anything. So simple arithmetic tells us that there is more imitation. We imitate rather than we innovate in maths or arithmetic. Hence, fifth. As a step towards protesting against the spiraling prices, the farmers have decided to stage a picket in an effort to. Now, spiraling means increasing prices. Staging a picket means to stage a demonstration. So, why will they stage a demonstration if the prices are increasing? Isn't it obvious to curb the prices? But hence, that is not my answer. Because then that will become redundant. They have said against the spiraling prices, which means to curb the prices. So, to make themselves heard, so that the government realizes and considers them is why they're doing this. So, make themselves heard. Times is a sort of news agency comparable dash to other news agencies. Again, only one option that can fit in here is the second one, in principle. The third one would refer to a school headmaster and would make it incorrect again. Most political leaders acquire the position by causing a large number of people to believe that these leaders are dashed by altruistic desires. When I say these leaders are dashed by altruistic desires, first of all, they're talking about selfless desires. Altruistic is the opposite of selfish. So many people, they get their position. They make a lot of people believe that they are actuated, which means they move to action, and their actions are, moved by selfless desires. Everyone will admit that swindling one's fellow beings is a necessary practice. Swindling means deceiving or cheating. Upon it is based a really sound commercial formula. When I say sound commercial formula, it means you're talking about profit because that is commercial. The only option which sounds like a formula and is commercial is option number three. Buy cheap and sell dear. So buy very in a very low price and sell at a high price. Now this is a paragraph that we have which we need to complete in the same manner as we've completed the FIB. At that time, the White House was as serene as a resort hotel out of season. The corridors were dashed. If it was serene, which means it was calm and quiet, so the corridors will obviously be empty. In the various offices, dashed grey men in waistcoats talked to one another in low pitched voices. Now, when they are saying low pitched voices, obviously it cannot be loud or stentorian, which is loud again. So, the only option here is quiet. The only color or color, curiously enough, was provided by President Eisenhower himself. Apparently, his dash was easily set off. He scowled. If he's scowling is an expression for anger. So his temper was easily set off. He scowled when he paced the corridors. He cannot demolish. Prowl is to be in the search of something. You can't storm the corridor because you've already scowled. So rather you will pace the corridors, which is move up and down. Now passing as a word has been used in 5 sentences. You need to find out in which of this sentence it has been used incorrectly. After giving a glance, you would have felt that the answer is the second one. The mad woman was cursing everybody passing by her on the road and not passing her. The preposition there is missing, making the sentence grammatically incorrect. Bolt. A bolt would have several meanings, and again it is being used in these 5 sentences. Which of these sentences is incorrect? Again, if you have a quick look, you would find that it is the second one. Bolt means to either run quickly or to lock the gate or latch the gate. Could mean any of the two. Now, as he could not move, he cannot do either of the two. As he could not move, he could even not lock the gate, and as he could not move, he could not even run for the gate. So, this sentence is logically incorrect. Now, I have measure as a word. On one hand, I have dictionary definition, and on the other hand, I have usage. The first dictionary definition of measure is size or quantity found by measuring. Now, if I have a quick view to the usage, the perfect usage of size or quantity found by measuring is G. The measure of cricket pitch was 22 yards. Now, if I see A is to G, if I'm figuring out A to G, then I have options number 2 and I have option number 3. Now B is to E here and B is to H. B is vessel of standard capacity. The vessel of standard capacity I feel is H. Ramesh used measure to take 1 liter of oil. 1 liter of oil is standard capacity. So A to G, B to H, only one option. Answer is option number 3. Similar with bound. Now bound has been used in 4 ways, with 4 dictionary definitions. Obliged or constrained. Now for A, I have either F, E or H. So my answer to this is E. Dinesh felt obliged or constrained to walk out when the decision turned to kickback. So he had no option. He was forced or obliged. So if A is to E, I have second option and fifth option. Limiting value. Vidya's story strains the bounds of crudelty. This is the limiting value, which means it goes beyond the limiting value. It breaks the bounds. Strains is to break. So hence, my answer is option 5. Now in this sentence, the word portent has been used. You need to find out the most closest contextual meaning. It appears to many that the US war on terrorism portends trouble in the Gulf. Now if you see the meaning of portent, it may show all of the 5 given options as the answer. Because portent also means to evoke, to presage, to be a prior warning. But since we are talking about war on terrorism, the only option that fits in here is boards. Because boards always means a warning for war, or a warning for something uneventful. The last question now, opprobrium. Again, we need to find the meaning, the contextual meaning. The police officer appears oblivious to the opprobrium generated by his blatantly partisan conduct. Now, oblivious means unaffected by. Opprobrium is what we need to find out. Blatant is out in the open. Partisan conduct is favoring a particular party. So he appears unaffected by the criticism generated. So opprobrium means harsh criticism, and that is equal to dishonor. So I hope you've understood the various type of questions that are asked in vocabulary. It would definitely help you to score better if you could improve your vocabulary and communication. And we've already learned how to do that. Thank you guys.